Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review video for www.getbean.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at Future Self coffee. So Future Self is the brainchild of a YouTuber come blogger called Alfie Deyes. Some of you may have heard of him. Apparently he's quite popular. He's not someone I've particularly come across as a in media, as a media consumer, but my friend Charlotte recommended, basically said, oh, he does this coffee, would you try it out, let me know how it is. And I was like, yeah, sure. So a good friend of mine who also bought me this lovely mug is now recommending me this coffee, so check her out on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot. So yeah, I thought, okay, I'll try out this guy's coffee. So this sort of instantly rang alarm bells. I don't know why, because this is on YouTube right now. I guess technically I'm a YouTuber, but I worry about celeb endorsements of things. So I'm not kind of like, unless you're a celebrity for coffee, like your James Hoffmans and so on, I worry about celeb brands, but that shouldn't necessarily be the case. If this guy knows what he's doing, then why should it be bad? So I went on the Future Self website and it seems to look fairly legit and like, okay, they've got the origins of the coffee, they talk a lot about the coffee, so I'm like, okay, this is off to a good start. So Future Self is a community of like-minded people who are focused on improving all aspects of their lives. Great. I think that's his vibe, is like self-improvement, whatever. I don't know how coffee comes into that. I guess it's that sort of coziness, treating yourself vibe. Anyway, so I plumped for the self-care blend. Not that I'm personally into self-care. I'm very much more into self-destruction. But the blend is Brazilian, Guatemalan, and Colombian, and has tasting notes of creamy milk chocolate, cashew, and raisin. So very much in my wheelhouse. So I was like, okay, let's go for this. This was the slightly more expensive bag at $12.50 for 250 grams. So that's usually what I'm spending on specialty coffee. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I'm intrigued to see how it works out, if it works out as a nice specialty coffee. It's pitched itself as specialty coffee, so I've got no issue with that. So creamy milk, chocolate, cashew, and raisin. Cashew, so I guess it's saying it's got that like chocolatey base note, but not too dark. And then, so quite mild, and then a sort of nutty texture, and then maybe a little bit of bite at the top end with that fruitiness, but then it's a raisin, so it's a berry, it's not so bitey. So I don't know, I think that's what I sort of expect. But I was sort of expecting actually something fairly mild that appeals to a wide range of palates, is just from the tasting notes. But we'll give it a go. As usual, I've got my espresso shot, my oat latte, and my water to cleanse the palate between the two. So, here goes with the espresso. Sniff. Oh, that raisiny smell comes through. There's a very fruit and nut vibe to it, which I love. I love my fruit and nut. I mean, I'm a vegan, don't eat fruit and nut anymore, but love that vibe. Yeah, that chocolatey raisin really comes through. So I'm presuming the nuttiness is more to do with the texture, the aftertaste. I wonder what the mouthfeel will be like. I'm hoping it sort of coats the tongue and isn't too watery, but it smells great. Not too strong either. Alright, there's a bit of darkness there that I wasn't expecting. A slight bit of bite at the back of the throat. It doesn't go to the back of the throat, but there's So that aftertaste, there's a really smooth aftertaste that really carries forward actually after you've swallowed. That's beautiful, that aftertaste. The initial, there's that darkness sort of takes, I was slightly unexpected, but that aftertaste is really chocolatey, very nice. The raisin is definitely there. It's more, yeah, there's sort of a puddingy kind of raisin element right at the tip of the tongue, but that's really nice. Actually, it sort of has a Christmas pudding vibe of that sort of almost alcoholic raisin essence to it. But that smooth chocolatiness really sits, comes through really nicely. And like I say, there's a darkness that gets you at the back of the throat a little bit, but there's no bite at the cheeks. So it's just, I think your regular espresso drinkers could knock that back day in, day out, to be honest. That's really nice. Really nice. Not as kind of punchy as I thought it would be. There's no kind of acidic bite that really grabs you. It's very smooth and very tasty. I really like that as espresso. Yeah, and I think regular espresso drinkers would like that quite a lot. So, moving on to the oat latte, what am I expecting? I'm expecting the sort of chocolatey element to be built up and that raisin to kind of be paired back with the milk, and just sort of a really smooth, warm latte experience. So I'm not expecting kind of to identify any more notes with it, but I think the chocolatiness will really come to the fore through the milk. So let's cleanse the palate first. And give it a go. That's nice. That's nice because the chocolatiness does sit there, but there's a little bit more just at the top end that you kind of go, okay, it's not just a standard sort of, whack this in a latte. You'll get a coffee taste and that'll do you because your milk, there's something that just sits on top of the milk and cuts through it. I guess that raisiny note just cuts through it. It's interesting. I'm not getting the nuttiness as much as I'd expected. It's fine, but the chocolate and raisins are really do come through. So I am, really pleasantly surprised. Like I say, I know nothing about Alfie Deyes. I don't want to, disparage the man just for being a YouTuber. Good on him. But that's nice coffee. That is nice, good coffee. And for $12.50 at 250 grams, it's, about the price point most people are pitching at specialty coffee. So yeah, it's good stuff. And I would happily drink more of that, give more of the blends or the beans a go. That's a nice blend. I like that a lot. So I'm going to go away and think about it. Write down some thoughts. But yeah, really nice coffee. Alright, thank you. In the meantime, do hit those like and subscribe buttons. And yeah, check us out on Instagram and TikTok and all those things. Yeah, take care. I'll see you in a bit. So just my final thoughts on the Future Self-Care coffee. So it's rich and creamy, very smooth, which is ideal for a latte, but it does have that nice clear raisin note when drunk black. So I think black coffee drinkers would get certainly something out of it. I really enjoyed it, and at the price point of kind of $12.50, it's very standard, and I think it's good if home espresso. So it's a nice little thing. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I was toying between 3 and 4. 3 felt far too low. And 4, there was nothing new or that caught me off guard. So it's a really nice coffee, and I admit I've played it safe with how I've selected this coffee. It's a coffee that I would naturally gravitate towards, so of course it's not going to surprise me. It's got those notes, so that is a very personal thing. But 3.5 feels fair, but I think between that 3 and 4 mark, it is a strong coffee. It is definitely worth a try. And if you're into that self-care community, maybe check that stuff out. But yeah, I'm glad I tried it, and I would happily kind of revisit other blends and beans from Future Self. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Do hit those like and subscribe buttons. Check out at Get Beamed on TikTok and me at the Vince Wood on Instagram. Otherwise, take care and see you all soon. All right, bye.